Hey, what's going on, everybody? Coach Nick here with Fit Camp 35. Today's video, we are going to go over how to foam roll and release your IT band. So I'm going to be this guy, this little area right there. Before we do that, I want to give you a quick explanation and kind of some myths on the IT band. So the reason I'm doing this video is I had a member go to the doctor because they've been having some nagging issues with their IT band when they're running. Nothing too crazy, but just something that's been kind of chronic and annoying, and when they're running can get, it probably does get a little bit painful there. But I want you to understand a couple things about the IT band before we go into the foam rolling and the routine and the couple stretches that I want you to do. So I want you to understand, like, the IT band is not like a normal muscle. It's not like rolling out our quad like here or like your glutes or anything like that. The IT band is like a thick, super thick piece of fascia. So it's different than just ordinary muscle tissue. So when people say, I have an inflamed IT band, what can I do to stretch it? What can I do to strengthen it? And the answer to that is actually nothing. You can I want you to think about this, like if you were trying to stretch your IT band, I want you to think of a piece of Jack Link's beef jerky. All right, not a Slim Jim. You can stretch a Slim Jim, but a piece of like Jack Link's beef jerky and try to stretch that. You cannot do that. That's about the same thing as your IT band. And not perfect, but again, it's just very, very thick, dense muscle fascia. So it does not respond to stretching and strengthening like a normal muscle would. The idea, like with the IT band, is, again, it's super thick. Sorry, I know this isn't perfect here, but we gotta be, so it's basically set here to help stabilize this area. So your hip to your knee, right? Because if we didn't have these pieces of fascia around our body, we would be mush. We would just be mush, nothing stabilizing our bones together. All right, so we have to have it. But the thing that can get inflamed with the IT band there is if all of the musculature around it is starting to adhere to it. All right, it doesn't like that. So if you have an inflamed IT band right now, I want you to think you've got a lot of stuff that's probably just sticking to it, and it's mad because it's trying to support way too many things right now. So what we can do with the IT band is we can foam roll it and we can stretch some of the musculature around it so that we can leave it alone from those things and let it do its stabilizing, right? So it's just going to stabilize the hips, the knees, keep us all in one piece. Again, so we're not Gumby, and then we'll get another benefit from kind of stretching and rolling the quad and the IT band and just ungluing that stuff in there. So hopefully that makes sense. Like, I'm actually not going to have you stretch the IT band. You really can't do it. Even if it like feels good like to do that, you're really just stretching the muscles around it. All right, so there's lesson for you on your IT band. It's a piece of beef jerky. All right, now I'm going to move the camera down and we're going to go over some foam rolling here. I'm going to show you this real quick though. This is, if you haven't done this and you have an inflamed IT band right now, and you have like one of these rigid foam rollers like this, like I think this thing's from like 5 Below, that's gonna hurt, like probably really bad. If this is all you have, great, just get ready for some pain. If you have one of these normal ones, or like there's the trigger point ones like this that have a little softer casing, good. But I would recommend like this if you have it. But again, use what you can, because again, this is probably gonna hurt. It's probably gonna hurt pretty good. The more we do it, the less it will hurt. Obviously, that's the idea here, but just a heads up. All right, I'm gonna bring this down so you can see me on the ground here. I'm gonna have to back up a little bit. All right, we're coming down here. Yeah, that's probably close enough. All right, so yeah, we're gonna roll this area right here. We're gonna actually roll on the IT band and kind of just mess around with where our body weight's at. All right, so what I want you to do, I'm just gonna start at the top of the hip. I'm on my left side. I'm gonna bring my right leg over. I'm gonna straighten my left leg, and then we're just rolling slowly up and down this IT band. All right, so I know I'm not like in the middle of the camera there, but all right, so we're set here. boom. So I'm going to put some good pressure on it. You may need to kind of hold yourself up a little bit more or push this foot down if it's super painful to take a little pressure off of it. But we're going to roll up and down. Now, what I want you to do, if this is the first time you're doing this, just keep rolling up and down. All right? Again, it's probably pretty painful. Keep that leg straight. Do not go into the knee. I'm just going to about right above the kneecap and then going to the hip there. So again, I would do this for, you could do this for probably about 2 minutes each side. Again, it might be pretty rough. Might be a little rough there. All right, once you start getting a little more comfortable with this, I want you to play around with like shifting your weight. So we're maybe a little bit more on the quad here, but we're going to try to find some different spots to roll over. You're going to kind of shift your weight back so we get a little bit more into the hamstring or on the bottom parts of that IT band, bottom part of the leg there. But again, we want to start working on this stuff that's basically lateral to the IT band. Good. Yep, so boom. Gonna be set here. Again, if you do, I would do this for a good 2 minutes. You could probably even do it for up into 3 minutes. All right. All right, and then just for the sake of time, I'm going to pop it over to the other side here, and you're going to do the same exact thing. Don't just do one side. Even if it's only one side that's inflamed, don't just do one side, do both sides. Do both sides. All right, same idea right here. All right, other leg over, so now I'm on my right side, left leg over. All right, and we're going to be here. Yep, and just rolling. Yeah, they're just getting, started with foam rolling. I know it seems like I'm talking about it like a skill, but it kind of is. Right, you'll get more comfortable working on this. Then you'll be able to go a little bit more forward. Good, again, get more of the quad. Then you'll lean it back. You're going to get a little bit more of that hamstring in there. All right, and again, just ungluing things that shouldn't be glued together. They should not be glued together. Because again, right now, whenever you hear like inflammation, I always think like one of the funny things, but it works, the cue to think about is it's pissed off. That thing is inflamed, it's pissed off, it's doing too much work, it's got things that are hugging it that don't need to be hugging it, and we gotta get it on its own. We gotta get those things away from it. All right, good there. All right, and you are set on that. Again, if you're to go do this, I'd set a timer, give it about 2-3 minutes each side, and then you're gonna notice, like this is something you could absolutely do every day. And you'll notice over time that once you start popping down on this thing, it's not quite as painful. And then you're just basically hopefully getting yourself into maintenance mode where you would just need to kind of foam roll, before or after you go for a run. Which is a fantastic idea just in general. Again, get that stuff loosened up, let it kind of glide and slide like it should without sticking to other things in there. All right, now we're going to grab a chair. We're going to grab a chair because we're going to actually stretch the quad and we're going to stretch part of the hamstring there. Again, all this stuff is good. I'm going to run, grab a chair real quick. You do the same. You do the same. All right, the chair. All right, I'm going to have to bring that up a little bit. I know, I'm just a camera expert here. All right, the chair is just for some support. So we're going to stretch the quad here. Now, what I want you to do, if there's no pain, we're going to do an opposite stretch here. Meaning I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to put it into my left hand. All right? And then we're going to pull and we're going to stretch like this. So we're going to bring heel to the butt. We're going to bring this back a little bit. Boom, and then we're going to set. So again, we're going to try to stretch a little bit more kind of on the outside of the quad here. If that hurts, just go right hand and right knee. Boom, pull back. Good, and this is just our classic quad stretch there. Again, about a minute each side would be fantastic. Good, if you can, I like the cross for this, because sometimes that can cause a little irritation in the knee. Don't do that. Boom, if we need to, we're going to be set here. All right, here's going to be the tricky one, and I'm going to give you 2 options to stretch the hamstring here. All right, this one, we got to make sure we have some balance. If you know your balance is not the greatest, don't do this one, or you could absolutely like almost have another chair off to the side and support yourself. But if you can, I'll say this is level 1 stretch, and I'll give you a level 2 stretch after this. All right, we're going to do this, and I'm going to show you from an angle because it's super important here. All right, so hamstring stretch, normal hamstring stretch, we just go straight forward right? Our knee is bent, and then we're gonna bring our chest forward. You're gonna notice a pretty big stretch down here. Now what I want you to do is you're gonna slightly, so there's my right leg, I'm gonna slightly bring it over to the left. I'm gonna turn that toe to the left a little bit, and then I'm gonna lean in. And you're gonna notice that stretch is a little bit more here, and that's exactly what I want. Right, I want, again, this lateral area here. That's just over the side of the IT band. Boom, I'm gonna bring my chest in. Whoa, and I got a massive stretch. Good, 1 minute. 1 minute each side here. Level 2 stretch, if that's a little bit much for you, flexibility-wise, no worries. You're gonna do what I call super stretch here. Hopefully I can get this in here. All right, so you're just gonna bring, boom, set here, heel down, toe up, and then just push your butt back. Still try to turn your toe in a little bit, so we emphasize this, but then just push your hips back. Hopefully you can see that. Good, and again, right in there. Excellent. Good, that one's a little tough to hold, right? But if you can get it, you could maybe just split that one up. If you're okay just holding that for about 60 seconds, great. If you want to split it up into like 30, 30, 30, 30, boom. And that's how we do it. That's how we take care of that IT band. Again, you could go to YouTube and find some stretches for it, but you know, from my studies, from everything I've done and working with people, the foam rolling, the stretching the musculature around it, and keeping up with that. Don't just do it once and expect it to completely go away. Like, keep up with that routine. Do that. You do that before and after you're running. You could do that on an off day, just in general, just to start getting that stuff unglued and letting it do its own thing. Let that IT band breathe, and then you'll notice that inflammation going down. And my goal for you is that when you go to foam roll it, it's like always just a little tight, just a little painful, but not like, oh, holy crap, this is really, really bad. So I want you to get from really, really bad to, all right, this is doable. This is doable. All right, there's your IT band tutorial there. I know that went a little long, 12 minutes, but now I got you educated on what it is. You know how to roll it. You know how to stretch it. Keep at that. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I think you're going to really, really like how that feels, which is hopefully nothing. I want you to feel nothing there going forward. So that's it. Again, Coach Nick with Fit Camp 35. If you like this video, and I will be back with more tutorials soon. Peace.